What is up, YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and the world is going absolutely crazy. Everything's going to heck, and there's toilet paper wars everywhere. It's pretty insane, but you know what? Let's just calm down and get a nice dose of Android in our lives. And if you're an iPhone person, look, perfectly fine, but maybe you could get a dose of Android in your life. That's what Android Digest is about. And today I want to talk about the Google Pixel 4, and I want to talk about the Google Pixel 4 specifically in 2020. A lot of you are wondering what the phone is like a few months later. Is it still hot stuff? You know, it's not the release date, right? It's been some time since it's been out, and I know the Google Pixel 4a is coming out. So you might be wondering if the Google Pixel 4 is worth buying. Should you wait and get the Pixel 4a that's releasing very shortly? You know, maybe you're gonna watch this as the Pixel 4a is already out, and you're gonna have to weigh these tough decisions out, and you're gonna have to decide, is the Google Pixel 4 worth buying in 2020? What's the Google Pixel 4 like now that some time has passed? And I just want to let you know, this has been my daily driver for a while now, and I'm excited to really go into details on it and just let you know. So with that being said, let's get this video going. Alright, so I've got the Google Pixel 4 here, and man, this is a beautiful phone with very good face unlock. It is a great phone, and in my review I talked about before with it being the king of Android and all that, there were some great things I pointed out about the phone. This phone does, and it still has very snappy performance. I haven't had any big performance lags, I haven't had any issues, and over time the performance has still held up. This phone performs very well. The Google Pixel 4 also has a great screen, a great display. It's a 90 Hertz display, which if you don't know, it just means the screen, when you're scrolling, the screen refreshes a little quicker. So it looks just so much better. And I've got to admit, it's just very hard to go back. If you go back to a phone without that 90 Hertz or without a 120 Hertz refresh rate, it's just difficult to go back to that original 60 Hertz. Because man, it is so smooth when I'm scrolling through stuff on my phone. So I love the display on the Google Pixel 4. It is fantastic. I love the performance, and I love the camera, which is fantastic. The pictures I get, they're just phenomenal. I've absolutely loved this phone, and everything, almost everything about it has been great. In fact, I'll quickly say, if you compare this phone to other phones that are out today, it stacks up very well. So what are some of the things that are bad about the Google Pixel 4? Well, I did mention this in my review. The battery life is absolutely not good, okay? It's just awful. So the Pixel 4 has a 2800 milliamp battery. If you have the Google Pixel 4 XL, you might have a 37 milliamp battery, or you do have a 37 milliamp battery. And that battery is better. So if you have the Google Pixel 4 XL, you are going to have a better battery life than the Pixel 4. But to give you an idea of how bad that battery life is in the Pixel 4, I would say, just to give you a guideline, it is a 3000 milliamp battery you need to get through the day as an average user. Now, if you're a power user, you need more. If you're a light user, you might need a little less. But a 3000 milliamp battery gets your moderate user, I would say, through the day. And what I find, when you add a 90 Hertz screen to that, okay, if your average phone will get you through the day at 3000 milliamps, and this Google Pixel 4 has a 2800 milliamp battery, it's a little lower than what your moderate user needs. And then you add a 90 Hertz screen, which is very power hungry. So this screen, to make it so smooth and to make it so fantastic, it does need a little extra power. So we've got to imagine that this 90 Hertz screen would at least take 10 or 15% battery off the Google Pixel 4's life. So if you calculate that in a way, you know, you could compare that 3000 milliamp battery that gets your average user through the day and this almost stacks up to 2,500 when you factor in the loss of battery due to the screen. So you've got a pretty big difference, right? And that means that your average user just will not get through the day with this battery. I can't say it any other way. I am a moderate user. I still find myself plugging my phone in around 6 or 7 p.m. Sometimes I plug it in at 3 or 4 if I'm using it nonstop through the day. So it really just depends. So if you have this phone, I would recommend getting some wireless chargers around the house. And I've got to be honest, when we're talking about this phone holding up over time, the battery will get worse and worse. But hey, if you're like me, it might be worth it to you, because honestly, the battery is really the only big problem I've seen with this phone. I mean, the price was a little high at launch. There were some other minor nitpicky things that I've seen, or minor issues that other tech reviewers have seen. You know, dust can get in the cracks, I think, a little easy on this phone. I think fingerprints get on the back. And for $800 at launch, that was a little highly priced for, you know, what I thought was sort of a bad battery. But outside of those little nitpicky things, this phone has a great face unlock. It might not have a fingerprint sensor, but man, the face unlock works great in the dark. As far as how the face unlock is held up, you should probably know that they did add that extra security measure in, okay? So, you know, they were talking about how if your eyes were closed, the phone could still be unlocked. So maybe someone could snatch your phone and run up to you, and they put the phone up and the phone would unlock. So you could be sleeping and, you know, someone could be snooping through your phone and you wouldn't even know it. So they did clear that up. So there now is an option that you could select to where you do have to have your eyes open to get your phone to unlock. So that is a good thing they've updated. They've also been doing these really cool feature drops where they've been adding new features to the phone consistently. So they're not just dropping, you know, little minor things. I mean, they're dropping some pretty cool features, which is awesome. And I would say the software is holding up great. The performance is holding up great. The camera is holding up great. The only thing that's really bad is the batteries. So if you're asking yourself, should I buy the Google Pixel 4 or should I keep it? You know, do I need to upgrade to the Galaxy S20? I'd say a big factor for you, especially if you're comparing to the Galaxy S20, a big factor is going to be price. So simply put, if you're getting this phone with a carrier like Verizon or AT&T, I expect and I know there's already a lot of sales going on where you could get the Google Pixel 4. You could get it anywhere from like $300 or $400 all the way up to $600, okay? So let's just assume you get it for $600, and if you're an unlocked customer, maybe you just need an unlocked phone, you could probably get it around $600 or so now. This phone will go on sale frequently over time, so I'd expect that if you're watching this video, whether now or later, even as things cool down in our crazy world, you'll probably get it around $600. So you have to ask yourself, this Pixel 4 is $600. The Galaxy S20 starts at $1,000. Is it $400 better than the Google Pixel 4? So let me run down what's better. The Google Pixel 4 has a better camera, believe it or not, than the Galaxy S20. Even I would argue the Galaxy S20 Ultra, because your average shots just look better, okay? People and different tech reviewers have frequently commented that they said the Galaxy S20 is like third, okay? It's iPhone and Google Pixel sort of side by side, and you have the Galaxy S20 in that third slot. Because even though you could zoom further, you know, when you get to a certain point in the zoom, you can't even really see very clearly anyway. So a lot of those novelties like awesome, crazy zoom or huge megapixels, those things don't really mean quite as much as they seem. They're really big, flashy numbers, but in reality, the Google Pixel 4 has a better camera, I would say, than the Galaxy S20. What about performance? Well, the Galaxy S20 has slightly better performance. It's going to have that Snapdragon 865. The Galaxy S20 is going to have 5G capability, though I will note that the regular S20, it only has a lower level, I would say, of 5G capability. The Ultra and the Plus models have like a little bit more. They have a different form of capability, so I'll just leave it at that. Now you do also have, outside of that, performance, camera. What about software? Well, the Google Pixel 4 I think has a lot better software. They have way more frequent updates, though I will say Samsung has improved in that department. What about like security features like face unlock or fingerprint? readers. Well, the Galaxy S20 is actually keeping the same fingerprint reader from the Galaxy S10. They did move it up a little bit, so that might be good news to you if you were wanting a fingerprint reader in the correct spot. But I just have to add, yes, they moved it, but it's still the same. So if you compare it to the Galaxy S10 to the S20, honestly, you're gonna have issues with pretty much either one. Now, some people haven't had issues, which is fine, but I have heard a lot of users with the S10 report issues, and you're having the same exact fingerprint sensor in the S20. The Google Pixel 4 has Face Unlock, and honestly, it's worked pretty much every single time I've used it. I mean, I rarely ever fail, and if it does somehow fail, I could just flick it open again, and then it'll just try it again, and it works. I don't even need, and I haven't had to enter my PIN for a very long time. So when you factor in that you could technically do Face Unlock as well on the Galaxy S20, I would say they're about even with security, considering that the fingerprint sensor is, well, I would say it's good, and it has been good for some users, but it's not perfect, okay? So there's some issues there. So what are you really getting in the Galaxy S20, right? What is worth that extra $400? And if you're with a carrier, maybe you get this for $400 or less. So what is really worth getting the Galaxy S20? Like, what is so good about it? Well, you might want the updated design. It is a little more modern if you've seen any pictures of it. There's a little bit more of a modern design to the Galaxy S20, which is pretty cool. But outside of that, you will get that 5G capability. Maybe that is important to you, but 5G is really not built up yet, and it's gonna take some time for that. So, I mean, what really is there, right? Oh, the one thing, battery. So that's really the one reason, and I don't know if that reason is worth paying an extra $400 for, or an extra $500, because the Galaxy S20 is $1,000. If you decide to get the bigger model and you get the Plus or the Ultra, you're gonna pay, $600 or $700 or $800 extra dollars, and you're not gonna get a better camera. You're not really gonna get better security or better software. The phone will perform a little bit better, but not by a huge significant amount that your average person would notice. So why not just get the Google Pixel 4? Well, the one reason is battery. Now, hopefully some sales will come along on the Pixel 4, but also on the Galaxy S20. Maybe the price can be a little more comparable, but for now, I would say the Google Pixel 4 actually wins the day. Now, there are going to be some sales on the Galaxy S10. I'd say that's a little more comparable. Well, the Galaxy S10e does not have a great camera, but it is going to perform the same, and it will have better battery life than the Google Pixel 4. It won't have as good of software, but hey, if you don't mind a smaller phone, the Galaxy S10e may be a good option for you. Now, the regular Galaxy S10, it has a little bit more of a modern design than the Google Pixel 4. Again, the fingerprint sensor can be a little finicky, but outside of that, it is a very good phone. It'll perform about the same. Maybe you'll get it for around the same price. So the Galaxy S10 is more of a side-by-side competitor. Just keep in mind that the S10 does not have the 90Hz screen. The camera will not be as good as the Google Pixel 4. So when you get the Galaxy S10, one of the big reasons, again, is going to be the battery. It'll have a little better battery than this Google Pixel 4. So if you want a high-performing phone with a good battery and you like Samsung, that might be the way to go. But when I compare all these phones, right, I would say in 2020, the Google Pixel 4, it stands tall. Even if you compare, I'll make one more comparison. You compare it to the Google Pixel 4a. The Google Pixel 4a is about to come out for about $400 brand new, which is nice and flashy and great. But wait a second, you could get the Google Pixel 4 here. So you get a processor that's a little faster with the Google Pixel 4. You can get a better camera with the Google Pixel 4. You'll get water resistance. You'll get, probably a little better fast charging and stuff like that. And you're gonna get all that on the Google Pixel 4. Now, the Google Pixel 4a will have a little bit of an updated design. It looks like it's gonna have a headphone jack. And, outside of that, it will have a little bit better battery life, okay? So for $400 there, maybe you don't want to be tied to a carrier, you buy it for $400. Yeah, that might be worth buying over getting a Google Pixel 4 for $600, but it's a very close race. It depends on what you value. Do you value that beautiful 90Hz screen, or do you value a little better battery life? Do you value small bezels, which is what the Google Pixel 4a is going to have? It really depends, I would say. So all of these decisions, no matter what, I think the big differentiator is price. So until the Galaxy S20 comes down a little more in price, I'm not really convinced that it's worth buying over the Google Pixel 4. And now, for myself, I plan to keep using the Google Pixel 4 in 2020. If you really want that extra battery life, I would recommend getting the Google Pixel 4 XL. It will not be perfect, especially with that 90 Hz screen, but it is a little bit better than the Google Pixel 4. So hopefully this video has helped you as you're thinking of if the Google Pixel 4 is worth keeping or buying, and what it's like in comparison to the Galaxy S20. I hope this video has helped you make that decision. Please give me a like and a subscribe. We are living in difficult times, mad times I say, okay? It is nuts out here. It is wild with all these different things that are spreading to people. I hope you are staying safe and everything's well with you and your family. Whoever's watching, I hope you all are well. I love my viewers. I want to help you any way I can. So feel free to leave comments in the comments section and I will be happy to answer any questions there. Let me know what you think of your Google Pixel 4 or Google Pixel 4 XL. And let me know if you think if it's worth upgrading. Maybe you have the S20. Leave me a comment as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week, a fantastic month, a fantastic life. And thank you again. Have a good one.